Howdy there, folks. How are y'all doing? My name is Reese, and welcome back to another episode of our Tekkit Legends 25 challenge, where we've got the crystal chest. It doesn't work. I didn't realize this last time, but you can't actually see the red matter inside of it, and I don't know if that's just because, yeah, okay, maybe there's too much red matter. If we add the red matter back in, is it going to stop working? Look at that. That's weird. What if I just take one out of the middle? Hold on a minute. If I take any stack out of the middle and I move it to like over here, what? Is that the limiting factor? Have we reached some sort of... No, look at that. Okay, let's take out a full stack. Look at... Okay, now we can see it. Now it's in there. You add that 64 back. Maybe not even that 64. Maybe half of it back in there? What the heck? What is going on here? Why is it like this? I don't really care. What matters is, once this is full, series is done. Or is it? I actually thought of a second objective as well, so we're going to get another crystal chest, and objective number 2 is to fill... Wait, do we not get... Is it a diamond chest? What is the chest? Is it not called a crystal chest? I thought it was. Maybe we didn't create a lot of them. Well, uno momento then. Let's grab some glass, and let's make a ring around the diamond chest. And there we go. We'll get another one of these bad boys. And these do cost a lot more. I think the reason I normally don't use them, especially early game, is because they store 4 stacks more than an alchemical chest, and the alchemical chest is substantially less expensive. It's just shy of 9,000 EMC, and this is 28,000, almost 29,000 EMC. It's ridiculous. We're going to throw that down next to it, and the goal here is going to be to fill this one up with completely maxed out Kleinstar Omegas. Now, there are mods in newer versions of Minecraft that, hey Buttercup, will add bigger Kleinstars. I haven't checked to see if they're compatible with Tekkit Legends. That could be fun. I also don't think I'm going to, because that's not really the goal of this series. Now, which one of these has all of those in it? It's this one. Okay. So this one has a matching chest somewhere else in the world. I don't remember where. I think, like, yeah, over there floating in the sky. And what we're going to do is we're going to empty them all into... And this could be risky. You know, if something goes wrong down here, we could lose all of our EMC. Like, if this thing blows... Yeah, it's surrounded by like 3 layers of blast-resistant glass, but it could still take all of our EMC out with it. But I think that that's part of the fun, isn't it? Just putting, you know, being risky, being a little dangerous by putting all of these fully maxed out Kleinstar Omegas in here. And we want to get a bunch of these. I think that's going to be our goal. We want to get a bunch of Kleinstar Omegas. And we want to fill up an entire chest full of red matter, as well as an entire chest full of Kleinstar Omegas right over here. At least that's my goal. I don't know about the rest of you. I don't know what you folks are doing out there. I don't know if you could tell, but I do still have a bit of a cold. It's something I'm trying to fight through and like get on the other side of, but it's been a rough time. Now, the thing we need to experiment with is what happens when we put these down, and whether or not this is going to affect like the watches of flowing time. How do we do this? No, don't fast forward. No, okay, we want to shift right click and then put that in there. And then it'll be on. Now it's on, but it's facing in like a weird direction. I put that one down weird, I think. All right, so shift right click. Shift click. Why is it going in that direction? What if I put it down like this? Are they all just going to face that direction? Is there just sort of a universal direction that things face when they're on the pedestal? Do they always face, like, north to south, I guess? Great, now I've got to... Oh my gosh, it's got to be a bare hand, too. This is so complicated. There we go. All right, and then we shift-click. I guess so. They're all going to face that direction. So we're just going to stock all of these full of watches of flowing time. And did we have more watches of flowing time upstairs? Did I condense some of them? I don't remember. I feel like we probably had more... I need to make sure that this pipe is going to work, so I'm going to just turn on one of these, and then, like, low-key break this pedestal. Can I even get up inside of there? I don't want to have to break one of these. That's going to be a hassle to put back. Maybe this one. That one won't be a hassle. There we go. All right. So if I throw this in here, that's not condensable. It's got to be something condensable. If I put that in there, did that get taken out? Presumably. Presumably it did. So I guess it did work. Yeah. Oh, yeah, there it goes. Okay, so it doesn't seem to care that there's watches of flowing time. Cool, I suppose. So we can put all those down around it, and yeah, it's working just fine. My concern was that these would break because of the accelerated time. But that doesn't seem to be the case. This is filling up just fine. Let's go grab the last couple of watches. I could just like go spawn in another watch, but I'm pretty sure there's some in that chest up there. And beyond that, there's some other stuff we got to do up top. For those of you who were not tracking last episode, what we're doing, I think me and Buttercup might be hosting like a Thanksgiving get-together, and we want to get the house all tidied up, basically, is what we're doing. So, was it inside of this chest? No. Maybe I did condense a watch of flowing time. Maybe that's why I can't find it. They do have an EMC value. That would check out. Maybe I did it by accident. We don't need this chest hovering around up here anymore, so we can get rid of that. I guess we need to prepare lots of food for everyone. So we need to have a great big field of wheat. We need to have some cows. I don't think there's turkeys in the game. That would be cool. Maybe we should install Mo creatures. Oh, also, hold on a minute. Need to get ourselves a Klein Star Omega. There we go, so we can actually fly around. That could have been detrimental. Imagine if I'd been flying really high over some lava or something like that. I mean, the armor would presumably protect us from fall damage, right? Like, I don't think we can take fall damage in this armor. But at the same time, I didn't think a nuke would blow us up in gem armor. And do you know what the nuke did? I'll be darned if it didn't blow us up inside of gem armor. So maybe I don't know what's going on anymore in Minecraft. Maybe it's all just a mystery to me. Maybe I'm just too old for all this. Maybe I should just delete my YouTube channel and, you know, retire in the tropics. Can I access that chest at all? Yeah, from over here. So we're waiting on that to fill up, and then we're going to fill this up. And then I need to see if there's something with a higher EMC value than red matter. And I don't think that there is. I mean, obviously, you know, accounting for stored EMC, this has, is that, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 51,199,936 EMC. Plus the value of it, which is 76 million. Wait, does that check out? How is it worth 76 million, but it's storing, like, how come it stores less than its current value? Or maybe the Klein Star Omega, maybe that's its value with the stored EMC? Yeah, it's worth 25 million without the stored EMC. And then the value goes up as you store more inside of it, which, okay, I follow now. And again, we want to get a whole chest full of these bad boys too. And then at that point, I think what I might end up doing is handing the world over to Ralphius Aerith or something. Because the original plan of the Tekkit Legends world, some of you may remember, and with the Tekkit Texan and all of that, the goal was to build a base for Ralphius Aerith and all of the other members of the Guardian Order where they could live and, you know, use as a base of operations. And that's why, I assume, Raymond Card showed up and blew it all into smithereens. Is because, you know, no one wants that, right? Buttercup, certainly not Iroth. He wouldn't want us to have a base of operations. And, I mean, the Guardian Order, of course, has that massive facility back in the Earthen Cradle where they run their operations from. But we've since left the Guardian Order for reasons that are still unclear. I think they just weren't willing to fight, right? I think that's but what it ultimately boils down to is some people were ready to fight the Chaos Guild. Some people were ready. And some people were just like, no, let's not, though, because order and stability, and we've had peace for so long. Maybe we can just placate, you know, Iroth and Raymond Card and all of them. And of course you can't. Of course you can't do that. That's just not going to work. Also, it's going to take a long time to move all of this down there, going one trip at a time. Let me try something different here. Let me try something a little bit different. Let's put all of this away. Let's grab out of that chest, probably downstairs now. We're going to go back downstairs. Shrek me sideways. Yeah, there's a lot of the lore we haven't really explored, but to my knowledge, from my understanding, the Earthen Cradle, should we be using crystal chests for this? Does it matter? Probably not. We'll probably be fine. If it gets laggy, we'll replace them with diamond chests. To my understanding, the people who joined the Remnant Order were sort of the best in the Guardian Order, who were willing to do the tough thing and fight against, presumably, I mean, it's called the Chaos Guild, and that's Iroth's family, maybe? It's all of the magic users who fled the Earthen Cradle after this what is that war called? I've already forgotten. I'm so unfamiliar with all the lore in this world. It's crazy stuff that goes on. I wish I could share it all with you, really. I mean, a lot of people don't know, but the, you know, Stranded series and the that other series that we did. Oh, Shrek, this is not going well. Okay, what are you? Let's take all of this out. My goal, okay, there. So that'll start to fill up slowly. And then what we want to do is we want to get another one of those. So Give me a second here. I'm gonna start explaining things, but first I got to get this sorted out. All right, we want an ender chest, and we want some red dye. There we go. We'll have to come back for this stuff. We'll have to come back for it. My goal was we could very easily transfer all of this stuff if we just did this right, and we had this chest here. And then I could just get out, like, inventory worth of things and then just dump them over here like this. See? And then go back, grab an inventory full of things, go back, dump it. A lot faster that way. But now we got stuff lying out on the ground, and it's raining, and it's dark. And Stranded and then the FTB Unstable series were both histories of the world that existed prior to, like, hundreds of years ago. And they tell the story of the Earthen Cradle and the war that separated magic users from scientists and technological users, and it was a big chaotic event. It was like the birth of magic in the world. It was the tale of two brothers, of course, who, you know, one followed his grandfather. I think the Reese brothers was their names, I believe. See, here's the thing. We took a lot of creative liberty with those stories, Ralph and I. Ralph kind of told me the stories. And so much of this is just, you know, it's so ancient that we don't really have names for the characters. You know, it's just like, ah, yes, the grandfather and the brothers. You know, and I was like, well, let's do a twist on that. Let's, instead of having the grandfather and the brothers, can we just call them, like, John Cubbington can be the grandfather, and then we'll give both of the brothers my name. It'll just make things a lot easier. You know, it's easier to convey stories like that when you have familiar names and whatnot. So that was sort of my idea, and you know, we took those creative liberties and we ran with them. But I still think that the story we tell, you know, is pretty close to the source material. We don't know everything, because, of course, different people have different accounts of those events, you know, wildly different. You know, it's like how every group on Earth of people kind of has a story about a flood that happened thousands of years ago, and they all kind of slightly differ, but they all share, you know, similar themes. Similarly, everyone in the Minecraft world, within the Earthen Cradle, they all have the story of the Great War and the two sides, and there's science and technology, and they were battling one another, you know, against magic and chaos and all of this, and then all the groups split, and those who wanted magic or who, like, believed in it and thought that it was a good thing, they all went to one side of the world. And then all of those who believed in technology and everything went to a different side. And then in the middle, the Earthen Cradle, which was now just like a destroyed war zone, that's where sort of the centrists lived. And they all decided that they would just, you know, live together in harmony, and they would use magic and technology. And they formed the Guardian Order to protect themselves from the extremists on either side. It's a really interesting history. You know, we never really got that into it. You know, we sort of told the story of Jonathan Cubbington in the Stranded series. And then, of course, we had Jonathan Cubbington was the grandfather in the legend. And then we have the story of his grandson in the FTB Unstable series, who is alive during the Great Apocalypse, whose family dies, and he kind of follows in his grandfather's footsteps. He wants to find his missing grandfather. And he, of course, represents the magical brother who embraces the mystic powers to fix the world, because, of course, he blames all the problems in the world on scientific advancement, because, you know, if they hadn't opened up the portals and the Ender Fellows hadn't come through, well, then none of this would have happened, and his brother is missing in space, and that's the story of his brother, of course. His brother was the Blightfall Reese, you know, his brother, and he went off into space just before the Great Apocalypse struck. And he's like, I've lost my family and all of my loved ones to this awful, evil chaos, and science is awful and evil, and bleh, and my wife died, and my child, and bleh. You know, so he's all real heartbroken. I'm making fun of him. I really shouldn't. It was a tragic story. But then, of course, he does manage to, like, call his brother back. At the end of Blightfall, a lot of people were like, why'd you cancel Blightfall? What's up with that surprise, oh, hey, Earth is okay, we're all going back now ending? Well, that's just the end of the legend. At the end of the legend, his brother, like, calls him back and is like, everything's fine on Earth. And, of course, he gets there and everything is not fine on Earth. Everything on Earth kind of sucks. And he's like, why'd you call me back for? And he's like, brother, technology's evil and we got to stay united to fix the world. And he's like, ah! That's the sound that means that we're done for today, and I was not expecting it. I was not expecting it at all. But there you have it. And, you know, they have the war there kind of takes place. A lot of people are confused in the timeline still as well, including Ralphius Aerith being a studier of... He was part of the Mist Wizards, MIST, Magical Institute studying teleportation. But he was also a bit of a historian, and that's sort of his role now, leading the Remnant Order. He also deals with all the history and whatnot, and he's very confused on whether or not the brothers tried to live in peace together or whether or not there was an instant separation. The details of the war are still a bit sketch. It's all up in the air. But there's a bit of a lore dump for you, I guess. I mean, we could go into all kinds of lore if you wanted to. Talk about how Raymond Card isn't even human. I didn't know that. That was news to me. I just learned that the other day, talking to Ralph. Ralph has been stopping by, hasn't he, Buttercup, between episodes? He comes by every so often and asks me how I am, if I've been seeing any sort of hallucinations or hearing voices. It's real weird. I don't know why. I did have that weird dream the other night where everyone was Enderman, but I don't know what that's all about. And I do occasionally hear voices telling me to remember and go back. And I do have a sudden love for the color purple, which I think we need to start building with. Purple. How do you get purple? I don't know. I'm not too worried about it. Not too worried about it at all. But yeah, he was telling me some of the stuff that he's unearthed. And apparently, the princess knows a lot about Raymond Card, so I don't know what's going on there. Thank you folks for watching. Hey, you know what? God bless each and every one of you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!